Terrific. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all here. I'm very excited to be here. My first ever webinar, so I'm a fraction nervous, but of course that's great. So we're going to start. We've actually started the recording. So welcome to Clear Your 2016 Money Blocks. We're going to have lots of fun today as we learn about EFT and how it can help you achieve your goals in all areas of your life, and especially today on money. If you have any questions during the webinar, I have the very helpful Dave, and he's on doing all the technical stuff for me. Just type your issue into the chat box and he'll be there to help you. So first, a bit about who is Kay Bailey. So I have a lovely group of photos here. First, on the right there, introduce you to my wonderful husband, Jeff. He was one of those people that I manifested about 23 years ago. I was looking for a new husband, and that's who I found. And that, of course, is another whole story. Then I have a wedding photo there. That's my oldest daughter's wedding, about 6 years ago now. And all of those people are my children. So I have 8 children. And as of today, I have 8 grandchildren, and there's some more on the way. That was, I've owned a number of successful businesses, and for the past 10 years, I've worked as a personal trainer. I love being fit and active. And the photo of us climbing the Story Bridge in Brisbane, and the other one on the chairlifts at Queenstown in New Zealand, where we've just come back from holidays. And yes, for those of you who know it, we did come down the luge. So I've been teaching exercise and nutrition for most of my life, but there was always something missing: the mindset, the why. Everybody knew not to eat chocolate, but they still did. Everybody knew that they should exercise, but they just didn't want to. So it was the why. Why weren't people doing it? And what could we do? What motivation could I use to get people to do them? And that was always the challenge. And then about 18 months ago, I ran into EFT, and it was like the light bulb. That was it. That was the thing that it was like that was the missing key. And I was so excited, and everything I've seen about EFT since, it's the missing key. It's the thing that helps us to go from what we know we should be doing to actually doing it. So EFT, it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. But some of you might know it as tapping, or another one is psychological acupuncture. So it's using both the principles of psychology and the ancient principles of acupuncture, but without the needles, which of course is good. So meridians are the energy flows through our body, and these meridians can become blocked. So acupuncture uses the needles to help unblock these points. But we've found that you can just do gentle tapping on these points, and that will be enough to free up the blockages. The real power comes in the psychology bit of what we say. So we tap on 9 specific points on the face and on the body using 2 fingers. 2 fingers more just because it covers a slightly wider area, so you don't have to worry so much about being exactly right on the spot. And there are specific points in the meridians where the energy gets blocked. And tapping, believe it or not, releases those blockages. The other bit we do is that we state how we feel. And this is different than everything we've been learning, because we've been learning about saying the positive. We've been putting affirmations and saying positive and thinking positive thoughts and all of that. And we've learned that. But what most of us have found, that you might say, I'm skinny and fit and delightful and happy, and there's a bit inside of you that goes, no, you're not. Don't be joking. Who do you think you are? And it's that bit that we're constantly just putting these positive stuff on top of the negative. In tapping, we're going to do it differently. We're actually going to state the negative. And it's amazing how many people say that's just so freeing to be able to state what they're really feeling. So I had a woman recently that had just not sleeping. And, just to be able to say, I can't sleep. My life is horrible. I'm sick of this. This is terrible. She said she just felt so much better even just being able to say it out loud. So we're going to state our truth, what we're really feeling. And there's a really strong power in saying what you really feel. And of course, all of those feelings, those negative feelings, are stuck in our cells. And as we're discovering more and more with the study of epigenetics, it's actually in our cells. Each one of these negative experiences we've had is actually stuck inside our body. And it's all there, right from our young childhood. So by just putting the positive on top, we're not fixing that. And so tapping is fixing it. It's actually solving the problem. We're actually going to let those feelings out. So we are going to say, I'm sad, I'm angry or hurt. We'll say this sucks and say it with feeling. Like it's really, sometimes life is really sucky. So the closer you get to the real emotion, the better. There's no pretense. There's no cover up. There's nothing, these are real feelings. This is what you really feel. So when we feel stressed or anxious or hurt, our body responds with physical symptoms. And we've all had that, where our heart races and we feel tight muscles and our digestion slows down. And the energy goes into our muscles. And most of this energy stays there. So that fight and fight response. So the energy is going into our muscles and it just gets trapped there, because most of us will then just try and we'll sit down and we'll try and make it feel better. But the body will keep remembering. So we use various methods to calm ourselves down. And we've used eating, drinking alcohol. We get angry. We also do things like watch TV, go on Facebook. Sometimes we even use exercise. And these are all methods that we've used to try and calm down that system. But this is what tapping does. This is why it works. It reduces the stress response. It can reduce the intensity of an emotional trauma, and it can process, and in the process, it's changing the way our cells work and our brain works, and the way they're responding to that stress. So an example in my life is that I had a fairly difficult childhood and my parents fought a lot. And all I wanted to do was run away. And of course, as a child, you can't do that. So what I did was hid under the bed covers. So I'd hide under the blankets, I'd get my torch and I'd read. And if I could find something to eat, I'd eat as well. So that was my stress response. When you're 8 years of age, it's a perfectly reasonable way to respond. So to something that you just can't control. I was soothing myself. I was responding the only way a child can. But of course now as an adult, if I hear someone fight, I can't go and run to bed and hop under the covers. It's not really an appropriate way to respond. But that's still what I want to do. And so I mightn't run to the bed, but I might run to the cupboard and grab something to eat. And we all have these programs. They're all running in from our childhood. Maybe not as dramatic as mine, and some more dramatic, of course. But what a child can see quite small things as bad. And so that's programmed into your system. And we keep them, and we keep them into adulthood because they're our way of keeping us safe. So tapping works because it helps rewire the brain. It's rewiring the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that stores these emotions. And clears these old memories and associations. Now, I use a thing called clinical EFT, and there's a few varieties of EFT. Clinical EFT just means it's the method of EFT that's being used in research. So they've written it up in a system, and so whenever you even see any research about EFT, they're using clinical EFT because they've got to keep it consistent. So there's 9 points in clinical EFT. You will see videos and things where they use a few more than that. There's tons of research showing the effectiveness. Post-traumatic stress, there's some wonderful research on post-traumatic stress. And they're now using it for the veterans in America as the only way that they've been able to help people with post-traumatic stress from the wars. And that's just phenomenal to be able to do that. They've also taken it into countries like Rwanda, where the children have suffered amazing stress. And with some fairly short therapies, they've been able to help them do things like some of the kids have never even talked. And to be able to clear something like post-traumatic stress. Chronic fatigue, it's the same thing. It's your body's just gone into so much stress it can't cope anymore. Chronic pain, wonderful, exciting stuff for pain, because nearly every pain has an emotional element. Even if it's something quite straightforward, like you fell over and broke your arm, there's still an emotional element in there of, stupid me because I fell over. My life's really tough now because I can't pull up my pants. So there's a whole range of emotional things that can go into chronic pain, and of course, into any pain. And of course, chronic pain is often things like a car accident or some sort of accident, which has a large emotional element to it, and it can just, like pain can just go. Eating disorders, we actually have one of the world's experts down on the Gold Coast in eating disorders and using EFT. Phobias is where it actually started. So the first person who used EFT was using it for a woman who had phobia of water. Because as you can imagine, phobias are stress, and any type of stress, and the energetic and emotional blocks. So this is the stuff that we just programmed early in our life. And of course, the one we're going to work on today is our money blocks. So how does EFT work for money blocks? It's your belief system. So when you were growing up as a child, you saw and heard people talk about money. So you might have heard people say money doesn't grow on trees, a really common one that we all grew up with. What do you think, we're made of money? I can't afford that. Don't you dare ask. You might have seen people you might have had family members in business and they went broke. You might have had your father working really hard and saying, don't talk about money. Don't talk about money, of course, was another whole, program that we certainly grew up with. So your belief systems were formed in those early years in your life. And some of them were subtle, so that was just what society said. So it might have been things like women don't work, or men are the breadwinners. They were probably not said, but that was certainly what you saw around you. Women who work aren't good mothers. Those sorts of programs are subtle ones coming from society. Or you might have had some very blunt ones from your family of like, don't you dare go into business. You'll never get rich that way. You'll go broke. So you can see how if they're the programs that are in your system, in your cells, how on earth are you ever going to succeed in money in your life? How are you going to set up a business and make the money that you're hoping to achieve? But tapping can release these blocks by going into those memories. Going down into those memories, we can actually release those memories from our cells and then reprogram with the memories that we would like to have in there, the sayings, the positive stuff that we are trying to put in there. You can't put an affirmation, a positive statement of I'll make, $1 million next year on top of, people who make $1 million are crooks. You just can't have those two statements in your brain. And the one that generally loses is the positive thing that we're trying to achieve. So when you set your big hairy goals for this year, what were they? Are you doing Tasha's 100-day money, colour and money? Or are you doing some of the 7-day money programs around? Or have you just set yourself a money goal for this year? So when you set that goal, when you thought about that goal, what did you think? What I'd like you to do now is I actually want you to write it down. So I hope you've all got a pen and paper beside you. I actually want you to write down what your money goal is for this year. Have you all got one? And hopefully it's just a bit scary. So it's not just earning what you're earning currently. Set a goal that's a bit challenging. So a big, hairy money goal. And now I want you to think about that goal. And what are you feeling? What are you thinking? All right, so not a chance we've got here. Ha ha. Exciting and scary, yes. What are your thinking? What are those voices saying in your head? So what I want you to do is think of the top three. Yeah, how can it happen? Absolutely. And I want you to think about what your top three are. So here are some of the ones that you could be thinking. So I think that's what, how can it happen? How can I do this? Who do I think I am? I'm too dumb. I failed school. I'm just a housewife. Rich people are greedy. What are your, so write down your top three. And write down so these voices are coming from the past. And I also want you to think about how your body is feeling as you say that. Can you feel the stress in your stomach? So if you're thinking in 100 days you can make $100,000, how do you feel about that? So what, are you feeling stressed? Can you feel it in your stomach? Can you feel it in your muscles? And write down that as well. And then I want you to give each one of those statements a number out of 10. So 10 meaning it just makes me feel sick, like I'm really stressed. I can feel it all over my body. 0 means no, it's not really, there's no feeling at all. I want you to write that number down. All right. So what we're going to do next, this is a diagram of the tapping points. So we're just going to go through them, and if you just sort of experiment with yourself a bit there. So the karate chop at the top, that's where we start. So again, two fingers on that spot. That's sort of like the nice little fatty bit on your hand there, and you can feel that when you tap it. And then we start on the eyebrow point. You have to take your glasses off. So beside your eyebrow and your nose, in that gap there, and again, tapping the 2 fingers at that point. Beside your eye, there's a little hollow beside your eye in that spot there. Under your eye, on the bone, about where the pupil would be, right in the middle. That's the under the eye one. And then we have the under the nose. So yeah, that's the sort of the dip between your nose and your lip there. You see that spot there? And then we have a spot on your chin, and it's not actually on the chin, it's in the dip between your chin and your lip, down the bottom, in that spot. And the next spot, if you find where your collarbones are, and come down into the centre and down a little bit. And if you feel around a bit there, sometimes you can actually find a spot that's just a little bit sore, and that's the right spot. And then under the arm, it's actually where your bra strap goes, just under your arm. And again, you might find that spot's a little bit sore. And then on the very top of your head, literally right on the top of your head. So there are our spots. Okay. So what we're going to do now, if Tasha's ready, Tasha's volunteered to be my guinea pig. So you're actually going to get to see this in real life. And while we're doing this, I want you, oh, thank you. I want you to tap along with us, saying your goals and your things that you've written down. All right, so we're going to get her on screen and we'll see how we go. There we go. I'm going to press this button here. And
Hi.
hello. And you're going to see the two of us together.
Yay. Hi,
Yay.
everyone. I'm in my yoga clothes. I'm so fancy. I've been tapping away at the body stuff, and I'm committing to going to yoga after this. So I was like, no, I have to be dressed and ready to go. So
dressed and ready. Well, you look like you're in Bali or something.
I am. Funny that.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Lynette. I wave to the screen when I see people too, even though I'm not on camera. So I totally get it. It's fine.
All right. So, Tash, you've been really brave and volunteered to do this on camera in front of these million people.
Yes.
So, what is your money goal for 2016?
So I did my 100 days goal because that's my big focus at the moment, and that's 100K in 100 days.
Right. And how do you feel about that?
So as I said in the chat that I feel like really excited and really nervous, like it's a little bit like it does feel scary. And I wrote down my first three kind of tail enders were the number one was just, who do you think you are? And that one comes up a lot. So it's like, that's definitely a strong one. Like, oh, my goal is 100K and 100. Who do I think I am thinking I can do that? And then the second one was, I'll just waste it. I'm definitely, and that's not a subtle programming. My mum used to say that money burnt a hole in my pocket. That was her favorite saying. And I even find myself saying it to my niece and nephew. So it's hardcore in our genetic DNA. And I don't want to be miserable. So that's another one. Thanks, Mum. Rich people, they might be rich, but they're miserable. So yeah, that's my three. And the first one, who do I think I am, was like an 8 out of 10. I'll just waste it was a 7.5 out of 10. And I don't want to be miserable was a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay. All right, so 8 out of 10.
Fix me, Kay.
All right. So what I was just saying is that we're going to talk the truth. So this is why I think Tasha's very brave to do this, because she's going to tell you what's really inside her brain. We did talk about this.
Yes, I did give you permission to go as deep as you want. Can I just formally apologise? I'm a very ugly crier. I probably will cry. If I do, just sorry about that, everyone. You're allowed to just not look.
Don't you love it when the client starts? All right. So I'm going to challenge those statements for her. So who do you think you are, Tash? That's a really big goal. Mm-hmm. Like, what makes you think that you're so clever?
I am clever. I'm a very smart person, and I feel like I'm quite capable.
Right.
I think sometimes I have this like secret belief that I'm more special than everyone else. And then that's where the who do you think you're not that special. Come on, you're not that special. Everyone thinks that they're special. That's definitely a big one. And I've been running my business for 2.5 years now, and it's getting quite successful, and it's like getting some momentum. So, 100K in 100 days should be doable. I can do that. Right.
So why is it an 8 out of 10 then?
Oh, it's just this feeling in my chest. It gets a little bit like,
Okay, so it's in your chest?
Yes, it's here. And it's a little bit like when you've had too much coffee. It's like a little bit fluttery. And I just realized that the toilet is in the background of my Oh, that's the dirty washing. This is the worst setup ever, Tash. Here you go. There's my 100K goal. Let's move this way.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, good. To have the goal sitting in the background is good.
It's right there. That's my beautiful, beautiful canvas. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So in your chest, feeling fluttery?
Yep.
More feelings? Like, so are you feeling like hard to breathe or?
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bit like tense, like tight for breathing.
Yep.
And the kind of the thoughts running through related to who do you think you are like there are people who are smarter than you. There are people who are more organized than you. For some reason, I associate how organized you are with how successful you are. I don't know where that comes from. And there's something in there about like you're doing it wrong. Like I'm very conscious of how I create in my business, and so I kind of steer clear of a lot of that like hype marketing, that pushing your pain points kind of stuff, which means that it takes a bit more effort from me to connect with people and for people to understand how I work, and for people to get it, that it's not just run a Facebook ad and just convince heaps of people to buy your stuff. So because I'm doing it, like no one's really done it like this before. So who do I think I am to be able to make this work? That's definitely
so you're not following all those business models that people have taught you, that you're doing it your way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you think you know more than all of those gurus out there.
You're so good at this. You just know how to tap into this stuff. Yes, it's definitely in that space. It's like, well, they've made millions doing it their way. Like, who do I think I am to argue with them and try and do it my own way? Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the tapping. You ready?
Okay. So I'm ready.
We're trying to start on this karate point. Oh, that way.
Tap along, everyone.
Tap along. Yeah, so everybody, your goal mightn't be the same as Tasha's, but you've got your one that feels the same. So just tap along with your goal. And we're going to say, so even though I've set this really big goal. And it's causing me some stress. Some 8 out of 10 stress.
8 out of 10 stress.
It's a big stress. Who do I think I am? Some guru or something. I just can't believe that I think I can reinvent the wheel. But I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel this stress. And I'm really wondering, who do I think I am? Some sort of expert. But I love how I feel and I accept myself. So even though this is a big goal. And I think I can do it. But those voices in my head. I don't want to be miserable. No. And what if I'm just going to throw it away anyway?
I'm just going to waste it anyway.
It's all going to just go down the drain, all that work.
It's all just going to go all down the drain, all that work.
I love and accept myself anyway.
All right.
So we're going to tap on there. So we start with the eyebrow point. This is a big goal. Beside the eye. Who do I think I am? Under the eye. Some sort of expert.
Some sort of expert.
Under the nose. Someone who's going to tell the big boys what to do.
Someone who's going to tell the big boys what to do.
And how to do it.
Sausage. And how to do it.
I know more than they do.
I know more than they do.
I'm smarter than those multimillionaires.
I'm smarter than those multimillionaires.
You can add in any of your statements that you pop up in your brain as they're saying this.
Yep, cool.
I'm smarter than all those business gurus.
I'm smarter than all those business gurus.
Up higher, right up. Up there. That's it. So up where the bra would go across.
Oh, mine goes across down here. I'm clearly wearing the wrong size bra.
Another issue. This is too hard.
This is too hard.
Who do I think I am?
Who do I think I am?
How am I going to do this?
How am I going to do this?
This is a big goal.
This is a big goal.
And I'm doing it my way.
And I'm doing it my way. The Tash way.
The Tash way. I'm not following those books that tell me how to do it.
I'm not following those books. I'm not following those dudes. They're telling me how to do it.
But those ones who have made lots of money.
Those ones who have made lots of money.
I'm not doing it their way.
I'm not doing it their way.
Because I'm smarter than they.
Oh, yeah, I've been doing it in the wrong spot. That's the smarter way.
Yeah, I'm smarter than they are.
I'm smarter than they are.
I know how to do this.
I know how to do this.
Oh, do I?
Do I?
Do I?
Do I?
Who do I think I am?
Who do I think I am? I got this. Who do I think I am?
Who do I think I am? Smarter than those dudes.
Smarter than those dudes.
Cleverer than the multimillionaire businessman.
Cleverer than the multi-millionaire businessman. Better at connecting.
Better at connecting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it my way.
I'm going to do it my way.
But I don't want to be miserable.
But I don't want to be miserable.
All those rich dudes are miserable.
All those rich dudes are miserable. And on their 8 wives.
And on their 8 wives.
They don't have strong relationships.
They don't have strong relationships.
Nope.
That's not what I want.
That's not what I want. I want to be happy.
That's scary.
That's scary.
What if I get rich and just lose it all?
What if I get rich and just lose it all? Or my brother wants it all.
Hmm?
Or my brother wants it all.
Oh, my brother wants it all.
Or I give it away.
Give it away.
I feel uncomfortable with excess.
Feel uncomfortable with excess. And what's excess?
More than the poverty line.
Right, well, you've got lots to give away then. What's the Bali poverty line? $1 a day?
About that. Wasting it away.
I'm wasting it.
I'm wasting it.
Anything above $1 a day and I'm wasting too much.
I'm wasting it too much. I spend for convenience.
Spend for convenience.
Honest, Dave's giggling at me.
Can't possibly save it.
I can't possibly save it.
There's no way the money can stay with me.
There's no way the money can stay with me.
I have to get rid of it.
I have to get rid of it.
It's too much.
It's too much. I've already spent it before I've got it. It's pre-spent.
I've got to get rid of it.
I've got to get rid of it.
All right, so have a little breather.
Oh, some good stuff there, Kay.
Some good stuff there. Haven't made you cry yet.
It's
so
not
tell
a
me.
goal.
It's not a goal. Yes, it is. Ask the other EFT practitioner. Hey, Gail. Gail, it's the goal to make them cry, isn't it? No, of course it's not. Don't everybody else calm down. It's not a goal to make them cry. It's a goal to make you tap into those emotions.
Yeah.
So tell me which emotions we were tapping into there.
There was a lot of guilt around spending and guilt around not making the right decisions with my money. So I could feel a lot of that. The tightness has moved down to my belly. So it's gone from my chest. It moved down to my belly. It's not as strong now. It's definitely calmed it down quite a lot, but it's a different kind of feeling. It's like, oh, I've tapped into some things here. I think, when I talked about the tail enders to start with, who do I think I am? They're quite surface level. Like that's what comes up first. But then as we move forward and you said like, let out other stuff as it comes up, like it's all that underneath things. Like my brother needs my help and I should probably give all my money to him because he sucks with it too. So, and all that being a rescuer stuff and spending out of convenience as well. Like if it's $5, but I have to go 30 minutes to get it, or it's $20, but I can have it now. I'll spend $20. I do that a lot. That's why Honest Dave was laughing at me.
Yes, it's tough when he's listening. All right. So the one about your brother seemed to be one that really brought some emotion for you.
Yep.
That really seemed to tap into something there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you're feeling about that. You don't have to tell us the story. You can just tell us your feelings about it.
Well, no, I think I come from a very strongly connected family. So, like I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying that they think they've got cousins, and I was like, how do you not know all of your cousins? Like we are there's 35 of us at my generation, but we all know each other and we're very connected, but we also help each other with money because someone's always struggling. And so I think that there's something there around, if I'm making great money, I have a responsibility to look after those in my family in particular who may not be doing as well. It's happened at like my mum's generation and at my grandma's generation as well. And so like my mum mortgaged her house so my uncle could get his helicopter for his helicopter license. And then when my mum passed away, my uncle had to pay for her funeral because none of us could afford to. And so there's like lots of story. When I moved to go to university, my sister paid my rent. So there's all of these stories about when you have the money, there's going to be someone else needs it more than you. Definitely.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel there's like a sense of responsibility and guilt, but then there's also this sense of, isn't that wonderful that I can be a contributor? Because I've always been on the receiving end. Like when I was at uni, my sister paid my rent. Like I've never been a big provider back into my family yet. Okay. So there's like a little bit of good about it, but then there's also this like guilt and like sense of responsibility, and there's something else that goes with it.
All right, so let's see if we can find that. Because as you said, and it's the same for everybody, the first statement they came up with is probably not the real issue. It's as we go down into this deep.
Yeah.
Right. So even though I feel some guilt earning this money.
Even though I feel some guilt having this much money. And I'm not sure that it's mine. I'm not sure that it's mine to keep.
Not mine to keep.
Not mine to keep.
I feel responsible for everybody else. I feel guilty that I have this much money.
I feel responsible for everyone else. I feel guilty that I have this much money.
I love and accept how I feel.
I love and accept how I feel.
All this money,
All this money,
so much money,
so much money,
so much need.
so much need.
Everybody needs my money.
Everybody needs my money.
My brother needs my money.
My brother needs my money.
It's my job to look after him.
It's my job to look after him.
I feel responsible.
I feel responsible.
And I love and accept how I feel.
And I love and accept how I feel.
Even though I'm earning all this money,
Even though I'm earning all this money,
I feel guilty.
I feel guilty.
I'm just going to waste it.
I'm just going to waste it.
I'm just going to give it away.
I'm just going to give it away.
And I fritter it away.
I fritter it away. It burns a hole in my pocket.
Burns a hole in your pocket. Your mother told you that.
She did.
He did. And it does.
And it does. She
And
was
I'm
right.
happy. She was right. And I love and accept myself and how I feel.
And I love and accept myself and how I feel.
Money burns a hole in my pocket.
Money burns a hole in my pocket.
I waste it.
I waste it.
I'm happy to spend $20 instead of $5.
I'm happy to spend $20 instead of $5.
I don't think about saving it.
I don't think about saving it.
I'm happy to spend it all.
I'm happy to spend it all.
And it goes.
And it goes.
But my family needs it.
But my family needs it.
And I'm responsible to them.
Oh, and I'm responsible to them.
And I'm responsible to them. It's my job to look after them.
It's my job to look after them.
It's my turn.
It's my turn. It's my time.
My time to look after them.
It's my time to look after them.
And I feel guilty.
And I feel guilty that I haven't done that yet.
Because I haven't done it.
I haven't done it.
I haven't done it. So I'm guilty.
I feel guilty.
My job.
It's my job.
It's my role in the family.
It's my role in the family.
I'm going to earn all this money.
I'm going to earn all this money. I'll be
But
the
I might
highest
just-
income earner in my family.
I'm the highest income earner in my family, and what am I doing?
What am I doing? I'm not helping anybody.
I'm not helping anybody.
I'm being selfish.
No. You're being selfish. I'm guilty.
I'm guilty.
I'm just wasting this money,
I'm just wasting this money and I'm not helping anybody.
and I'm not helping anybody. I'm just using it for my convenience.
I just use it for my convenience.
I'm just giving it away. I'm just
I'm
throwing it
giving
away.
I'm throwing it away and wasting it.
I'm wasting it. I'm not giving it to my family,
I'm not giving it to my family.
and it's my job.
It's my job.
It's my role as a rescuer.
My role as a rescuer.
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty.
My brother needs it.
My brother needs it.
This is my brother.
This is my brother.
How come I'm not giving him any?
How come I'm not giving him any?
I feel so guilty.
I feel so guilty.
What does this mean?
What does this mean?
Who am I?
Who am I?
What does money mean?
What does money mean?
Is it to give away?
Is it to give away?
Is it to throw away?
Is it to throw away?
On convenience.
On convenience.
Oh, have I frozen?
You have a little, but that's okay. I can keep going.
You can keep going, yeah. I'll catch
Follow
up to
me,
you
everyone.
follow Touch. Don't follow me, I'm stuck. I was concentrating on Touch too much and suddenly looked and thought, all right. So, I feel guilty.
I feel guilty.
My brother needs my help.
My brother needs my help.
Someone is always struggling.
Someone is always struggling.
Okay, so yes, have a break. You got some water there?
I do.
Because it's always good, everybody, to drink some water. Because as we said, we talked about we're clearing the cells. We're clearing the junk out of the cells. You might question why I'm saying those things to Tash, because I'm not saying them, they're her words, and I'm just repeating them back to her. So I'm not by any means calling Tash selfish or bad or anything. These are just the words inside Tasha's brain.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you think about all that?
It was very powerful, and I'm definitely set up. Like, I do EFT in the shower in the mornings,
Yep.
and I think I would have like 30 days worth now. You've tapped in some things, mind the pun. But I feel like it's got more, I've been given more kind of clues to explore. Like, I've gone a little bit under, like, oh, actually there's something else there, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's hard to do that stuff yourself because you sort of stay on the surface and just go round and round in circles.
Yeah. And I must say, actually, the whole like family looking after each other and we all have to support, and it's not come up in any of my, like, I've been doing journaling each day for the 100-day challenge, and my mindset, and in 22 days that hadn't come up before. So that's really interesting.
I think it's very interesting, and I think it's a really strong. I think you really need to look at that more because yes, it's you know, you've got two conflicting things happening in there with money. Sort of three conflicting things really. On one hand, you've got this really nice money goal that's going to set you up very comfortably. If you keep doing that, you're going to live you're going to be able to buy your dream house and live the life that you dream of. On the other hand, you've got this thing that says your family needs it and that you're responsible and you're the rescuer and this is the way our family does it, which is fine, but it doesn't fit with goal number one.
Yeah.
And then you've got this, I'm just wasting it anyway, which of course is like, you won't be able to give it to you or someone else if you just keep wasting it.
Yeah.
So you sort of got these, so you can see how those, if I'm just going to throw it away or give it away, then why should I put all this effort into making it? Juicy.
Yes.
And one of the statements you made, someone who's always struggling. So, in any family, it won't be your family, of course. In any family, there'll always be someone that needs to be rescued.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
And it has been true to date. I've been that person a couple of times.
Well, you've been that, yes, but that's right. So what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. I think I just have to start a family fund. Just
that's right.
Level. Just
obviously, as you're tapping,
included into my calculations.
Well, that's right. Yeah, obviously, as you're not a tapping person, I'm not going to tell you how to solve that problem.
Yeah,
but it's certainly because the layer below that will be something like, why bother earning all this money if I'm just going to give it away?
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be hard work forever because there's always going to be people to save. There's always going to be people who need rescuing. Yeah. So I think I have to book a session in with you, Kay. We're going to chat and keep digging that one. I think you're going to make me cry.
Oh, yeah. There's some crying under there.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, it probably is tied up with they rescued you, so you feel responsible, but just where's that responsibility level?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So that's obviously a 15-minute example or 20-minute example of what happens. Yeah.
Beautiful. And, thank you. I'll turn my camera off now. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye. So we'll turn it off even though it stopped working. All right. So that was so hopefully you all got something from doing that and doing it with yourself as well as, obviously your issues will be different than Tasha's, but you get the idea of how we explored all of the words that she said and the different ways that she went through that. Oh, didn't ask you, Tash, what was the level if we said now, who do I think I am? What would your level be at now? And where's the pain, the tension in your chest? All right, so she's typed in about 4 out of 10. So we've got it down from an 8 to a 4. Obviously you can imagine another 15 minutes or so of that, and we should be able to make that really different. The chest breathing's fine, and a 4 and a 10 in the belly. So we moved it, and moving's good. Moving means that, yeah, we've tapped into some other things, and that's what you saw us do. We went into different directions because, as she said, that the things that she told me were her issues were just the top, and then there's another layer underneath that. All right. So hopefully you all got something, all were able to move some feelings. So just a summary of what we did. So first off, we listened to the little voices that are telling you something. So when you make a positive statement, so whether it's about money or any other area of your life, you make a positive statement. I'm going to earn 100,000 in the next 100 days, and then listen to what the little voices in your head are saying, like, who do you think you are? And then we went through, how do you feel? So the feelings through your body, because they're telling you things as well. And the SUDS, that's actually just the number, the number that we chose. So out of 10, 10 being really bad, people can feel really, really stressed. And once we get down to the 1s and 2s and 0s, then we know that's it. That's as far as we need to go. Make sure you always state the truth. And that's sometimes where it works with working with a person, because the truth, sometimes when you're saying, you just go round and round in your head, whereas someone else can hear what you're saying and pick out what your truth is, what you're not saying, or what you are saying but not hearing. Look for your earliest memory. We didn't actually do that, but obviously we got into Tasha's brother, the family dynamics, the family conditioning. So those memories, and particularly, particularly with money, because they will be from early memories. Then the setup statement, when we were tapping on the karate chop on the hand. So you'll notice we sort of summarised, and we started with, even though I'm feeling, and whatever you're feeling. And then you can change the ending statement to how that fits the statement the best, but along the lines of, I love and accept myself and how I feel. And tap about 3 times through the body, and then stop, drink some water, have a breath, and see how you're feeling. So see where that SUDS level is at. So SUDS actually stands for subjective units of distress. So big fancy word to say how you're feeling. All right, so we're going to have a bit of time to have some questions. So if you'd like to type your questions into the box there, you can answer a few questions. And just while you're typing, we'll go through my offer. So normally a single session with me is $97, which is for 60 minutes. But what I want for everybody, as you saw with Tash, we were just getting down to some of the real issues. And so what I recommend is a 1-month intensive to clear these money blocks. So that would be 4 sessions and some email questions in between. And that would normally be $350. But for the first 3 people to book in today at $295. All you have to do is email me, say, yes, please, I want to do that. And we'll get you going and to help you with your specific issues. So next, do we have some questions? Oh, there we go. So you've got my email address there in my box. So what's the question there? I can't read the question. So yeah, so again, that's a single session would be $97. There's a booking site on my website that you can have a look at, and you can book in your sessions yourself, or you can just email me at my email address there. So some of the questions people ask are things like, can you get it wrong? No, you can't. And that's one of the really exciting things about EFT. You actually can't get it wrong. So if you forget which places to tap on, or you tap on something wrong, it's not going to mess it up. The statements, they're your statements. So there are tapping scripts you'll find on the internet, and they're a place to start, give you some ideas. But the real power comes in saying your feelings, your truth. So every one of us will have a slight variation on the theme. No matter what the issue is, it's coming from your past. So the scripts work as a guide, but the best idea is to get into your own thoughts and beliefs. So has anybody got any questions that they'd like to ask? All right. So if you just go back to, yes. So Tash, I hope that, we've been, oh, here we go. Here's some questions. So a session is 60 minutes. It's about as long as most people can. You really don't want to go much longer than that, because you emotionally and physically wear out. So that's why it's good to do them over a few weeks, to sort of do it, let that settle, and then come back for another session a bit later. I'm glad the demo was helpful. That's good, because that was the whole point, is we can talk about something and why it's good and how it's good, but to actually see how it works. And hopefully, yes, you practiced along with yourself at the same time, and so you actually felt some of the change in yourself. Yes, a fear around cold calling, picking up the phone and approaching people. All of those things are perfect to work with it, absolutely, because they're a fear. They're causing a stress in your body. So any of those fears work perfectly well and really easily, because they're coming from a belief system. It'll be something like, they're going to yell at me, they're going to criticise me. Who do I think I am? Who do I think I am is actually really quite a common, who do we think we are to help other people? So yes, any of those stresses of talking in front of people, public speaking, all of those fears and phobias are probably the easy, really good to work with. So that's great. So yeah, we have another one saying that they finally set their financial intentions for the year. That's good. You've been wondering and worrying how to do it, and listening to the voices that say you can't do that, because that stops us from setting a lot of goals that we think, oh, that'd be fun to do, and then the voice says you can't do that. Who do you think you are? And so we back off our goals, even though the conscious part of it might say, yeah, I can do that. So the fear of heights, the fear of doing something adventurous is a little voice inside your head saying, don't be joking, you can't do that. All right. So any more questions, anybody? Some of the other questions that people ask is, really it works for just about anything. Financial goals, because it's not so much the goal, it's about the voices in the head. Whereas something like pain, we can work directly on pain, where we actually recreate the experience. So that's why you'll hear EFT being talked about for so many different things, because it's the way that we've wired our brain and the way we think. Overeating, yes. Overeating's a nice challenging one. because overeating has many aspects to it. But one of the classics, I think, where I used my example earlier, where, you know, listening to my parents fight made me go and hide, but it also made me go and eat. So any stressful situation will now make me go and eat. And the way to solve that, the way to clear that, is to clear the memories from childhood. So to clear that fear and anger and hurt and distress that came from childhood. And I think one of the most miraculous things for me is, as I've been clearing that blockages, those issues from my early childhood about my parents, my relationship with my husband has improved dramatically. It's probably the biggest change in my life, because I'm not bringing all of my parents' stresses into my current marriage. And so you can see how I might be clearing those for eating issues, but I end up clearing them in my relationship issues. And that's the magic in it. It really is. It's just the magic. Because it just works in so many areas. And I had a lady earlier in the last year where we were doing eating stuff, and she was eating a bag of lollies a day. And we tapped. So food cravings is one of the most fun ones to do, because we can tap food cravings away in about 15 minutes. So if it's lollies or chocolate or alcohol, we can tap them away really quickly. But we tapped on these lollies, tapped away the food craving, but in the process discovered the stress she was having with her husband, tapped on that, and a few weeks later her daughter said to her, "I don't know what you've done, Mum, but you're a much nicer person." And she came to a class of mine to clear food issues. So it's really magic and very exciting. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your coming to this today. Sign up for a session for yourself. And it's been great to have you. Thank you very much. Bye.